leave that over there. I'm gonna put this here. All right. So, surviving Mars. This is a like a real-time strategy city builder with kind of a heavy survival element built in. So the theme is you are colonizing Mars. It's maybe a little bit advanced in the future. So a couple pieces of technology that we have are rockets that can land and take off without requiring reassembly, basically. And we've got, I guess, spacesuits that are pretty effective for Mars. So basically humanity's advanced to the point where we can colonize Mars for the most parts, and now we just need to do it. Okay, so you can, there's a couple different configurations you could start out with here. So we have our commander profile, which is kind of like the class of player that we're going to play, which basically gives us different starting bonuses. And then we have our mission sponsor, which also gives us specific bonuses, but it also kind of adjusts the difficulty level. And so the kind of recommended one to start off with is the International Mars Mission. And it's very easy. It gives you a huge amount of money. It gives you a huge amount of passive research. It gives you a great return rate on the rare metals, which are basically like the exportable good that you use to get money in the game. And then a bunch of bonuses. Colonists never get Earth sick. Your foods from passenger rockets is massively high, and your rockets automatically synthesize their own fuel. And their payload is enormous. Okay, then we've got a couple easy ones. We got USA, we've got Blue Sun, which are both easy, as well as China. And then we move into some normal difficulty ones. Space Y, that's like SpaceX, I think. And then we've got some very hard ones as well. I mean, there probably will be some community modded ones too that give you specific bonuses. Okay, in addition to that, we've also got our commander profile. Basically, it's kind of like Oregon Trail, right? You pick your profession. So inventor is very drone focused. Your drones get better. Oligarch makes your fuel more effective, and you start with arcologies, which are basically like a very good apartment building, very special apartment building. Hydro engineer gives us better water. Doctor makes it so we give babies easier. Psychologist, your people are less likely to go insane, and you can basically treat their flaws with a sanatorium. Politician gives you extra funding, and it gives you a tech that you can use to get more funding. Futurist, breakthrough techs are researched faster, and you get this bonus tech, which is good for your scanners. Ecologist, hanging gardens. I've never done this one. I don't really know exactly what it does. Astrogeologist, you basically get better scanning into the resource deposits on the map. And then rocket scientist, you get an extra rocket, and you start with the shuttle technology. You can also choose logo, and then there's this mystery, which is an active storyline that you can choose from. So yeah. So I'm probably not gonna do one of the easy ones. I'm probably gonna do normal difficulty. Let's see here. So we've got India, which I've done. They're really cool. They start with extra large domes. Europe is very research focused. And then Space Y is better at shipping. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Huh. Can buy applicants with funding. Additional rockets are cheaper. Probes can discover deep, rare metal deposits. Deep metal extraction. Alright, I'm going to play as the Blue Sun Corporation. Federation. They seem pretty cool. So they only start with 2 rockets. So you can, so basically the organization that is funding this mission only has access to 2 rockets, and so I can't have 5 rockets on the planet at any one point in time. I need to basically send them back and forth, carefully. A decent amount of funding, a decent amount of research, very good export prices. So that's kind of cool. And I can deep metal extract. Let's do that. Okay, so what class are we gonna play? Psychologists are really good. Domes consume less water. Okay. Arcologies. I've never played with arcologies. Let's try it. Sure. Alright. We're going to do a Blue Sun Oligarch. We got to pick our logo. Let's do... Look, Serenity. Mr. Handy. We got a robot. We've got the Curiosity rover. One Small Step. We've got Mars University. Family Values. Brussels sprouts. Bio robot. Don't panic. I like it. Let's do the don't panic one, I guess. Okay, this looks pretty good. So let's do it. Alright, so the next thing we choose is it's just like Oregon Trail. You get to pick your starting goods. Like, you have a certain amount of funding available to you. You have a certain amount of capacity you can put on your first thing. So it kind of comes with this preloaded configuration that we can run with, but we can also adjust it if we want. Basically, we are starting with nothing on the planet, so we need to take everything that we can use to get somewhere. So what we should probably do is we should probably start with a fuel refinery. That'll allow us to refill our rocket with fuel. It's resynthesized out of water to make hydrogen fuel. We should probably get a drone hub. This controls our drones. Moisture Vaporator is pretty good. Stirling Generator is pretty good. And then factories are obviously really good, but we don't have people to start, so let's skip out on that. Okay, we've got a transport. We probably want... Let's see. 6 drones. I mean, we can cut that down to 4. That buys us some cargo capacity. If I want an extra rover, they weigh 10,000 kilograms. I probably don't want any fewer polymers than 10. Machine parts 20 is pretty good. We don't need this many probes. Didn't I, like... Doesn't, like... what is this? Probes can discover deep, rare metal deposits. So I probably should start with some extra drones. And then I guess I could just send a second rocket shortly with more resources. Maybe we'll start with... an extra fuel refinery. Yeah, I feel like I'm overthinking this a little bit too much. I really want the rover. Is it worth not getting the transport? It's a tough choice, man. Hey, man. We don't need this many probes. Let's just take one. Oh, jeez. Drop down our machine parts. I have this feeling like this is gonna totally hose us if we cut down our machine parts too much. But whatever. Alright, we did it. We just modified the default just by cutting out a couple of things so that we could grab an extra rover. Which we'll talk about. Okay, so finally, we gotta figure out where we're gonna start. So I don't know. It seems like they paid a lot of attention to try to make sure that this is like a decent, like, kind of image of Mars. So we can pick all these different locations. They have names. They have coordinates, and then they kind of have just like a breakup of what the resources look like. Let's see. Let's pick a random one until we find something that we like. So these are like the these are like some of the like maybe pre-thought locations. Arabia Terra. Oh, this one looks good. Samaria Alpha. Okay. So we have not a lot of metals. Elysium Alpha, Elysium Beta. This one's pretty good. Serenium Beta. Pretty good metals, pretty good amount of concrete, pretty good amount of water. And then these are basically like the environmental threats that we would encounter. Sure, we'll do this one. It's a little easier. Relatively flat topography. And like if you wanted to play with like you know, the same map over and over again, you could select these locations multiple times. So let's go with this. All right, here we go. We're loading in. All right.
Welcome to Mars.
Welcome to Mars, Commander. Everyone at Mission Control is impatient to see the rocket touching down and unloading its precious cargo, our remotely controlled eyes and hands on the red planet, the drones and rovers. Our goal is to secure a foothold for humanity by building the first Martian dome. This daunting endeavor will allow the brave pioneers, the founders, to settle on Mars and prove that the colony is sustainable. But until then, we have to make sure the colony has enough construction resources, water, oxygen, and power. Our sponsor of this game is Blue Sun, and we are playing as an oligarch. Alright, so this is kind of a zoomed out vision of the whole map. And then we zoom in and we like poke at it, you know, stuff on the ground here. So, we have to figure out where we're going to land our rocket. So it says, hey, where do you want to land your rocket? I actually don't want to land my rocket yet because I also started with 2 orbital probes that I can exhaust to scan a sector. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan here. Nothing. Oh, I should actually, here we go.
Anomaly found.
There's a... nothing, basically. Brutalia. Alright, whatever. So, we got nothing good with our scans. If we had started with 8, then that would have been good, but whatever. So, this is fine. We'll just go ahead and land our rocket, right around here. How about that? Maybe, like, down here, actually. We'll put it... oh, there! Here it is! There it is! Woo! It's like a SpaceX rocket. Okay, my mouse work is going to be a little bit off because when I turn on OBS, my streaming software, it always like turns down my mouse sensitivity by like 200%, so I'm a little bit off here. Alright, and here they come, the rovers. This is the RC Rover 1, and we've got the RC Transport. Ah, look at them go. Alright, so this is basically a truck for transporting around resources, and this guy controls drones. He opens this little door, and out they come. Woo! Hello, little drones. So, when we give commands to the game, right, it'll be executed by our drones if our drones are within range. So, this is the operational range of this rover. The shuttle itself also currently has 4 drones. You can see them selected here. And it's got a fairly large operational range. And we can reassign these drones as, later as we like. Before we send off this rocket, we'll obviously reassign these drones to something else. Okay, so we can pause the game with spacebar here. It wants us to set up a scan, and it also wants to set up a research. So here are our starting researches. Looks like we got a free one already. The Arcology provides comfortable living space for many colonists. So that's an advanced technology that we get to start with because we are the oligarch. Okay. So we got a couple things here. Soil adaptation. So there's 5 categories: biotech, engineering, robotics, physics, and social. Soil adaptation is our biotech. It unlocks the farm. Right now we just have hydroponics farms, which are like a tower that grows food. The soil adaptation allows us to grow a more legitimate farm. And it's got a little quote here from Andy Weir, The Martian. They say once you grow crops somewhere, you officially colonized it. That's a fantastic reference to Andy Weir, The Martian. Okay, so this is fuel compression. Rocket cargo space increased. Sure. Drone swarm, robotics. Drone hubs are constructed with 2 additional drones, and your maximum drones are increased. Autonomous sensors. Sensor towers no longer require power or maintenance. They just operate on their own. And systematic training. Scientists and botanists have +10 performance while working in their specialty. We don't have any people right now. We don't even have a dome. We don't have food. So right now, I'm going to go for the autonomous sensors. Okay. So, here's the build menu. There's a bunch of different stuff we can build. Obviously, if we want to explore this, we have domes. We can build some domes, which are pretty sweet. Obviously, that's where we're going to put our humans when we finally send them. But we're not quite there yet. However, what we can see is in order to build a dome, the cost is a small dome suitable for the early days of the colony. Cost 80 concrete, 20 metal, and 10 polymers. And then it consumes 15 energy, 1 oxygen, and 1 water. And it has a maintenance cost of concrete. So we should probably look at getting some concrete and metals. We actually started with some polymers on our rocket. We brought that with us to help with that. So for now, let's get some concrete going. So we have a concrete extractor here. And we're just going to place this down on this concrete deposit. Sure, we'll just put it right there. So we've told our drones to construct this. And right now it just needs metal and machine parts. So our drones are going to work on this the best they can. So they've actually found some metal deposit right here. So they're just going to go ahead and scoop up some of those minerals there. Go, little buddies. And they're going to carry those resources off to the concrete extractor. Oh, and here come some drones from the ship, and they're bringing some machine parts. Carrying machine parts. So this building requires metals and machine parts. Go, boys. I'm going to turn up the speed here a little bit. Alright, that's a little bit better. It's crushingly slow. So they're going to drop off the resources on the center, and then once there are enough resources, he's going to start building it. Woo! Go! Excellent. Here's our concrete extractor. So what does it do? Extracts sulfurous rich regolith from concrete deposits and produces concrete. All extractors contaminate nearby buildings with dust. So this building is going to gather concrete from the surface, and it's going to kick up a bunch of dust in doing so. We want to kind of keep it away from other things because the Martian dust is very, sharp, abrasive. It's destructive to all moving parts, and so things will decay and break down a lot faster due to this Martian dust everywhere. And so this is going to kind of happen passively on everything we have, but it's going to happen more to things that are close to our extractors. So, okay, that's one thing. Now, it looks like it's not ready to go. It needs electricity. Insufficient power. Warning, must be connected to a power producer, and it requires 5 power, but we don't have any power. So, how do we get power? Let's go to the power tab here. We've got solar panels. We've got wind turbines. We have a Stirling generator, but we have 0 copies of it. It's an advanced building. We actually need to prefab it on Earth and ship it here until we've researched the technology to build it. And we've got power cables and power accumulators, which are our batteries. So the major 3 options here, we have solar panels, we have large solar panels, and then we have wind turbines. Now, the major difference between wind turbines and solar panels is that solar panels cost metal, and you maintain them with metal. And then the turbines cost concrete, and machine parts, and then you maintain them with machine parts. And machine parts are fairly advanced for a resource. You have to ship them in from Earth until you get the technology to build them, which requires people. So, metal is pretty easy to get, so solar panels are the way to go. So let's build a little solar farm here. We'll just build some solar panels here. Can rotate them with the R key. And we're just going to put them over there. It looks like they require 4 metals each. And this is the large solar panels I'm building. They produce a little over double what the smaller solar panel does. And they take up 3 hexes of space on the board. While we're at it, let's go ahead and hook up a cable. And all you need to do in this game is if you just, basically the main cable line, if it just is within 1 hex of anything that consumes it, it'll like run its own little wire to the device. Cool. So it looks like they're good to go, but they're not going to open until the cable is finished and something starts drawing power off of it. I'm also going to go ahead and throw a battery on it while I'm at it. Throw a battery there. And we'll just take one. The batteries cost concrete and polymers. So we can't even build this yet because our concrete guy isn't done. Speed it back up here. And it costs polymers, which we brought some with us on our ship here. Which is great. Okay, so the wire is connected now, but unfortunately it is now nighttime. It is hour 1 of Sol 2, day 2. And Martian days consist of roughly 25 Earth hours, so we get 25 hours a day. And right now it is nighttime. And the day is about in the middle of this time bar here. Here's a little bit of status. We can see our number of colonists in the colony currently, and we can see our total number of drones we have so far. So we have a total of 8. We have 4 on the rover and 4 on the rocket at the moment. These guys are going to start dropping off some polymers. That's what those little purple things are there. It's like basically plastics, right? Okay, the sun is rising. And there go the solar panels. And they turn to face the sun. And there we go. There goes our concrete extractor. Woo! It's like powerful raking machine. So he's going to start grabbing off this deposit. It has a total of 518 concrete. So that'll hold us for a while. Alright, so what is this guy doing? He's producing concrete, and off go our little drones. They're going to use that concrete to try to build this power accumulator here. And you need 1 more. And as soon as he grabs concrete, he's just going to throw them on this little pad. We've also got this little waste rock here. Stored waste rock. So this is a problem. He's just going to dump it right there. Get it off the deposit there. So we need somewhere to put our waste rock. So there is a little storage space for this, and it'll just take you guys, and they'll just go dump it on that. So now they have somewhere to dump that. I'm going to go ahead and actually move my drone rover just a little bit over here now. Cool. Alright, and then, okay, so let's go through the build menu here. We've got infrastructure, we've got drone hubs, which are prefabricated on Earth. You can't, so we brought a prefabricated drone hub with us. So this is a building that can control drones, and it can't move, obviously. So when we place it, we want to make sure it's in a place that is really good. Like where we are currently, basically. We can build sensor towers, we can build recharge stations for drones. Later in the game, we can build tunnels, which are a giant tunnel to go from very long distances, and whatever. Okay, so we've already gone through the electricity. These are our production buildings. We've got concrete extractors, water extractors, rare metal extractors, And then we've got our factories: polymer, electronics, machine parts, and fuel. We brought a fuel refinery with us. Metal and concrete extractors can just be built with resources we have on the planet side right now. For life support, we've got Moxies, which produce oxygen. We have oxygen tanks, which store oxygen. We have a water extractor, which you can build over top of a underground water node. It's like a well. We have a moisture vaporator, which need to be prefabbed on Earth. We don't have any of those. They basically suck moisture out of the air. And then water towers, and we got pipes and hydroponic farms and farms. Okay, we've got storage. So this is kind of how we organize all of our resources. These little depots right here, they're just a little pad on the ground that collects your resources for you. So I'm going to go ahead and throw down a concrete depot. And this signals to my drones to go, hey, just go put all my concrete right there. So they're going to start doing that for me. They're like, cool, we'll do that for you. Thanks, little dudes. And we've got these for all of the basic resources in the game. Metal, concrete, food, rare metals, polymers, electronics, machine parts, fuel, and then waste rock. Cool. Okay, we've got domes, which we can't build a dome yet. It's a pretty advanced thing. We've got a number of buildings we can throw into those domes, but I'm going to leave that out for now until we get to the point where we actually build a dome. Here's our special arcology building. And some decorative idea things. Okay. So our goal here is we're trying to build a dome, because then once we have a dome that's functional and supporting life, we can import colonists. That's kind of our goal here. So, I forgot to scan. Let's scan that area. Okay, so in order to build a dome, we need a couple things. First of all, we need metals, concrete, and polymers. We obviously brought polymers with us. And so we need to mine some concrete, which we started on, and we need to mine some metals. So that should probably be our next goal here. And we need to get a power grid, maybe a little bit bigger than the one we currently have operating, and we need to get oxygen and water. Also, we should probably find a good place to place the dome. So, how's our research doing? So, a little bit of spoilers ahead of time is that there are certain resources that can only be accumulated by people. So these extractors here, the metal extractor actually requires workers to operate. The concrete extractor is automated by machines. But metals and rare metals actually require you to have a human. The humans, so basically when you find a deposit, you have to place the deposit next to a dome where the humans live. The humans can't walk across the Martian surface very far. So generally you want to place your domes near the resources you want your humans to mine. So I'm going to be looking around for a metal or particularly a rare metal node, if I can find one. So I need to start scanning some of these sectors here. With that said, I think what I'm going to do is I need to send my drone hub off to go do some, to go build some sensor towers for me. I can't do that with him where he currently is placed, because right now he's managing my whole infrastructure here. So my buildings are slowly decaying. Maintenance. The condition of buildings deteriorates over time. Martian dust and disasters contribute to deterioration of buildings outside. Deteriorating buildings will need to be serviced by a drone and supplied with their required maintenance resource, or they will malfunction. So these solar panels require metal. When their maintenance meter reaches the end of its line, that means they've decayed enough and need a tune-up. And you've got to pay whatever this resource is. The maintenance resource for the power accumulators is polymers. For this concrete extractor here, it is machine parts. And then these cables will eventually break too, you know, suffer damage and whatnot. So we need drones to be around to be able to service that for us eventually. So I'm going to go ahead and drop down a drone hub. And I need to connect it to the power. So let's go ahead and place it. I kind of want to place it sort of far away from that extractor because it's going to pump dust everywhere. So I'll place it right there. Actually, I could... maybe a better idea is to place it maybe closer to like around here and run a wire. But I am going to eventually build a water extractor which also kicks up dust. So maybe this is the best move actually. Okay, we're going to stick with that, I think. I think that's the best move. Kind of want to increase my operational zone in case I find a new node, but whatever. Go build it. Obviously, you need drones to build the building, so that's why I can't send my guy away yet. Build it! So this one doesn't require any resources. I basically brought a prefabricated building with me from Earth. This is my only one, though, so I don't have any more drone hubs. I can't build anymore until I ship them from Earth. Which I can do. I have more additional rockets I can use to resupply with, and I have a limited amount of funding. I just have to be very cautious with it, because I don't have an infinite amount of money. You have a lot more money on easy mode, basically. Introductory mode. Okay, now that we've got some drones servicing this area, I'm going to send my, my guys out to do some work here. Let's go ahead and build a sensor tower here. And so the sensor tower requires electronics and metals to be constructed. So I'm going to grab... I'm going to throw out a metal depot here. And my drones will start grabbing these metal deposits, mining them, and dumping the resources on this metal depot. So that'll get me that, and then the other thing is I need electronics. So I've got some electronics and polymers and machine parts stored in the ship right now. I'm just going to go ahead and unload some of these for the moment so I can get access to them. Electronics. Let's unload these. 4, 5, 6, 7, and one left. Alright. Let's grab some metals. Ding. Alright, so we've got one metal and one electronic. Oop, we actually need some more metals. I probably need maybe 5? I don't know. Alright, off we go. Let's send the guy with the drones. The drones are going to load up in the back of the rover, and off it goes. And I'm just going to unload these resources. Actually, I don't even have to. I can just stop my truck, and the guys will grab the resources out of the back. This device... Oh, we'll get there in a second. Okay, so... Got the sensor tower going. Boosts scanning speed, especially for nearby sectors. Extends the advanced warning for disaster. So if a meteor shower will come, it'll warn me. Unfortunately, it requires power. 2 power. So... let's hook up a solar panel. And a cable. Alright, they're done. Unfortunately, it's not running right now because, once again, it is nighttime. So we're just gonna ignore that for now. We have done what we needed to do. So what this is going to do is this is going to boost our scanning speed very significantly. You can actually see, just zoom in down here, there it is. There it is right there. Here is the sector we're currently scanning. But we have to wait till daytime for our scanning tower to activate. It's not going to work quite yet. Now, let's talk about this anomaly that we found. This is basically something we can explore with our science vessel. We don't actually have a science vessel. We didn't bring one because we had other things we wanted to bring. But we'll ship one here soon enough, and it'll allow us to inspect this. This is an anomaly. Basically, when we did our scan, we noticed that there was something, and we just need to bring a more intense scanning vehicle to inspect it, and it will give us bonus things. This one in particular will help us with our current research goals. I just need to send an explorer to do it.
Sector scanned. Anomaly
Boom.
found. Select a sector to
Wow,
scan.
look at that. Alright, so we scanned this sector, and it looks like we found some concrete, 2 anomalies, one that will help us discover new technologies, and one that may lead to a breakthrough. And we also found a underground rare metal deposit. This is like our concrete deposit, but it gets us rare metals. Rare metals are the resource that you can use. You can mine it, you can put it on your rockets, and then when you send your rockets back to Earth, those will be sold to give you funding. And then you can use that funding to buy important imports, like electronics, polymers, machine parts, prefabricated buildings, all these things that you need to get the colony running that you just don't have access to at the beginning. It looks like these guys are mining these metals all the way down here. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So our solar panel is going, and our guy is going. So we can actually see here now, we're getting a massive sensor tower boost on these sectors, plus 400% scan speed. And then the further we move away from that tower, the more that decreases. So let's go ahead and scan these. And we're going to scan them extremely fast because of the sensor tower now. And we can actually queue up some, so let's go ahead and throw some down here. There we go. Just throw it on like 5 of them. Cool. Alright, I guess while we're waiting for that, we'll throw down some extra depots. And the drones will go ahead and unload those for us. Thanks, bros. This drone hub is eventually going to require maintenance, and it is maintained via electronics. So this becomes the major reason to import certain goods from planet Earth. Electronics are very difficult to produce on planet side at this point in time. It only requires 1, but it's slowly going to consume our small amount of resources that we brought with us. We only have 9 electronics with us. So eventually this is going to consume all of our electronics, this is going to consume all of our polymers, this is going to consume all of our machine parts, and we're going to need more. So our goal is we need to get rolling quickly here. So I'm going to go ahead and start gathering resources. So what I'm just going to do is there are a couple rare metal, normal metal deposits just kind of floating around that we've scanned. We can see there are 14 lying on the ground here. There are 8 lying on the ground in this sector. So I'm just going to throw down a little metal depot. This doesn't require any resources. It's just basically like a marker. Hey, put the stuff here, and the drones will do it. So now that the drones kind of have an indicator of where I want them to put the resources, they'll go ahead and auto-mine those resources for me. Or they'll just take them back to the ship. That's cool, too. It's a lot longer of a trip, boys. Okay. So our sensor tower turned off because it's nighttime now, which is sad. But this autonomous sensors technology is gonna force them to require no power, and then they'll be able to run 100% of the time. I could give this a battery, but I actually kind of want to save my polymers. So I'm just gonna take it a little bit slower.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Oh, looks like we finished our scan of this area. Let's see. We've got no resources, and we've got 1 anomaly. And this is a new technology anomaly. So there's a couple ways to get new technologies. As you progress up the technology tree, you'll just unlock anything. If you have nothing visible at the next tier, it will automatically unlock kind of a randomized early game technology that's not always exactly the same. And then also grabbing some of these anomalies and researching them with an explorer will unlock new technologies for you as well. Let's go ahead and throw down a depot. So these depots cost nothing to build. They're just a marker. Seems kind of weird that I'm just like dropping these down everywhere, but it doesn't cost anything, and it basically allows my my little guys, they won't mine this resource until they have a place to put it after they've mined it. So I'm basically saying, hey, put the resources here after you've mined them, and now they'll go ahead and mine them for me. And I'm going to go take my truck and have this little truck pick up the metals for me. Cool. So how's our scanning going? 51, 52, 53. So we're scanning this area that our rocket is in right here. Alright, let's have this guy go drop these metals off. This depot doesn't do me any good now, so I'm just going to destroy it. Let's go grab these metals here while we're at it too. So this rover eventually is going to run out of battery power. So it is kind of important that you get some kind of power grid set up. Eventually, otherwise your rovers will run out of battery and then they'll just be stuck. Like the Discovery, right? And you're just stuck there with no wheels, no support on the Martian surface.
Sector scanned.
Left to die. Ooh, hey, we found some rare metals. Where? Ah, look at that. Right there. There's two underground rare metal deposits pretty close to each other. And we can absolutely hit both of those simultaneously with our dome, which is excellent. So that's fantastic. I just need to research this anomaly, and then I can go ahead and probably drop my first dome there. That seems like that's a good spot to start. Rare metals get you money. Money gets you everything else that you need right now. So I'll take it. Delete. Looks like our extractor here is getting pretty dirty. Look at all that Martian dust on it. It used to be so clean and pretty. Building isn't working. Oh, it became nighttime, so he doesn't have any more light. Okay. So eventually, he's about, 65, 70% decay status. When he reaches 100, a drone will automatically service it. That's great. These guys are getting kind of dirty, too. You can see our solar panels are getting kind of dirty. Everything on Mars gets dirty. There's dirt everywhere. Okay, so we've got ourselves rolling a little bit. We actually started with a second rocket. We have one more rocket available. So it's probably worth it to figure out what we want to send with our second rocket. Actually, before I do that, I need to get my water extractor going. So here's a water extractor. You need to build it over top of a water node. An underground deposit of water can be exploited by a water extractor. So the reason we need water is, one, for our dome, to give our dome access to fresh water, but we also need it to power our fuel refinery. Produces fuel from water. So this is a refinery that basically splits the water into hydrogen and oxygen for us. It basically produces hydrogen fuel. So we want to get that going because we actually need that to refill our rockets with fuel and send them back to Earth. We only have 2 rockets available, so we've got to basically have them go back and forth from Earth, gathering our resources and colonists for us. So I want to get my fuel refinery going, and in order to do that, I need to get water going. So let's go ahead and build a water extractor. So this is going to require, it looks like, concrete and machine parts. Here go our drones off to build it for us.
Sector scanned.
Oh, hey, wow, our sector, what? So our scan finished, and there's just a gazillion water here. Wowzers. Also, there's a lot of metals right here. Woo! So I'm just going to go ahead and throw down a depot so that I can remember to come get that later. Alright, water extractor is complete. It doesn't have to be exactly over the node. It just has to be, the node has to be near it. So this produces water for us. It also requires 5 power, and it requires, eventually, machine parts to maintain. So let's look at our grid real quick. So our grid produces 20 energy per hour, and it has a demand of 8 energy per hour. 5 of that is from this concrete extractor. 3 of it is from this drone hub. So this is going to require another 5. So that'll put us at 13. Which seems fine. Now the detail here is that we're gonna have a demand of 13 energy per hour, both during the day and during the night. So our battery here needs to be able to we need to be able to store up enough energy during the day to power us during the day and during the night. And then we need to be able to store enough to actually to actually power everything all night too. So, looks like it's good to go. So now I need something else. It needs a water consumer. So, we're successfully mining the water. Now we just need something to do with it. It's not got to pull water out and not have anywhere to place it. So, we can build pipes. But I actually want to get my fuel production going for the moment. So, let us... I probably could have rotated this water thing, but whatever. We're gonna run that guy over there. And we'll just put that there for now. We'll go ahead and throw on a water tower. I'm going to try to maybe keep it a little bit far away from the extractor, because the extractor kicks up dust, which will cause the tank to decay, which we don't want. I mean, the same thing applies to the pipes, but we can't really avoid that, can we? And then we'll go ahead and throw it on our fuel refinery. So this guy... I'm actually going to run just a few more pipes. Maybe I won't. Let's see. Does this thing kick up dust? I don't think it does. All extractors contaminate nearby buildings with dust, so this one does not. So let's just go ahead and throw it down right there. So this is another prefabricated building. It doesn't cost any resources because we brought it from Earth. So they're just going to go ahead and deploy it for me. Cool. It requires power and access to water. So we've already got our water source prepared. And we've got our fuel refinery already hooked up to a water source and already hooked up to an electricity source. Wow, there is just... Look at this water. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Cool. So that is synthesizing fuel. It's going to produce 15 fuel a day for us. Let's go ahead and throw down a fuel depot. And our drones will go ahead and deposit it there for us. Okay, so here's the deal. Let's go take a look at our power grid. Pause here real quick. So now our total demand is 18 energy per hour. And if we recall, our production was 20. So by adding in this water extractor and this fuel refinery, now we're kind of exceeding our production. So we can see our little battery here is slowly decreasing. Oh no, there it goes. We have 84 stored power. Are we going to make it till daytime? I don't know. We did! We did it. So now the grid, here's our power grid status. Our production is back up to 20 and our demand is back up to 18. So we're going to slowly regenerate this battery. But it's not going to be enough to last all night time. So let's go ahead and throw down some more solar panels. Throw down one there. We can rotate it here so that since they're little triangles. So let's go ahead and boost this. Each of these does 5. So this should put us around, what, 20, 35? What are we draining? 18? Should be enough, right? Hopefully this single battery is enough to hold us through the entire night. Okay, so you can see these little guys are actually carrying these fuel off for us, and they're just depositing it in the rocket automatically. Cool beans. They're going to go ahead and just fill up my rockets automatically for me, and if they have any excess, they'll go ahead and dump it into this fuel depot. So now that I got this guy going, our rocket's getting refueled. It's getting prepared for its journey back to Earth, so it can ship additional stuff for us. So now that we've got that taken care of, it's cool. I think it's time to start thinking about what our next shipment is going to entail. So, how are we doing on resources? I can actually just bring up this overview screen here. We have 119 concrete total. 51 metals, no food, no rare metals. We have 8 polymers, 9 electronics, 11 machine parts, and 4 fuel total. So let's go order a resupply. Cargo rocket. We definitely want to grab some extra polymers. We want to grab some extra machine parts, and we want to grab some electronics as well. Oh, hey, man! We're getting to the point where we can do farms, but we need colonists before we do farms. Right now we're just farming concrete. Let's go ahead and grab some probes this time. Now that we're not as so limited for space. These rovers take up a lot of the weight on the rocket, so we do want to grab this explorer, but we already grabbed a rover and we already grabbed a transport, so we're okay. We probably want to grab another drone hub. They weigh 5,000 kilograms. We have 21,000 left. Sterling generators are pretty good. We do need more orbital probes. You're absolutely right. So, you know, a moisture vaporator is a great tool in case you run out of water. But honestly, our water things we've got water everywhere, so we're not gonna need that. Fuel refinery is good to have. I've never actually used this Sterling generator before. Kind of want to see how it works. So we still have 19,000 kilograms left. Let's grab maybe a couple of extra drones. Maybe we'll hold off on that for the moment. We need a lot more polymers. The cost on the arcology was extremely high with polymers. So let's grab some of those. I'm actually going to make sure, yeah, we grab some extra probes because of our ID that we chose to play, the orbital probes actually, we can use an orbital probe on an area we've already scanned to scan for deep deposits, and our special ability actually allows us to mine those deep deposits immediately. So this might alter where we want to place our first dome, because the same rule applies. The deep deposits require colonists to mine them, and the colonists need to be near a dome. So we need to place the dome near the deposit. So let's grab a couple extra of these, couple extra of these. We have 9,000 left. Sure, let's go up to 6. We still have 7,000 left. That seems pretty good. Maybe load up on some extra polymers. Some extra machine parts. Seems good. Sure, throw in some extra electronics. And just fill in the rest with a drone. Oh, geez, we could have done an orbital probe. Do we want extra drones? I kind of do want extra drones, actually. If we skip out on 5 of one of these resources, like electronics, we can actually get an extra probe or drone. This seems good. Our funding, we've spent about half of our total funding on resources so far, which is pretty good, so we're going to launch that. Cool beans. All right, back to the colony. So something they've done a really good job at, look at the shadows as the sun moves across the sky. You can actually see these guys will actually follow it.
Sector scanned.
They're
Select
slowly
the sector
moving.
to scan.
Look how dirty they're getting. And the day is nigh over. Go to sleep, my princes. These guys look much shinier. And there they go. Alright, so it looks like our scanner turned off, obviously. So let's get some scans in around here now. We're kind of looking at this area. Okay, so the rocket we shipped is, it's 26% of the way to Mars. And here's all the stuff that's on it. So just hang out, I guess, while we wait for that. I sent this guy down here to go grab these minerals and kind of stock them up for me. Good. Looks like these are good to go. Let's get those drones. Oh no, the drones aren't here yet. We need to wait for the ship. So, guess we're stuck waiting. Anything else on this ship we want? Refueling the ship. We're about a quarter of the way there. It's got 4 drones. I think at this point, I want to start reassigning them. It's fine for now. I just need to make sure I don't forget to reassign those drones when I send this rocket back, because it'll take the drones with it if I don't reassign them. What was that sector I just scanned?
Pipe leak reported.
Here we go. Uh-oh, a pipe leak. Okay, let's see. So this pipe broke. It's leaking water. 3 water each hour, and it's leaking oxygen too, but we don't have any oxygen hooked up to it at the moment. So, as long as there is a metal, this section of the grid has malfunctioned and is now leaking. It can be repaired by drones for 1 metal. So, as long as there is a drone in range, he'll go over and repair it. These drones are actually pretty cool. They're kind of automatically managed. They have their own battery life, and they have their own dust level. So they can break down by getting too dirty. They have to constantly return to the drone hub here in order to be basically recharged and cleaned so that they don't break down on me, which is just all done automatically for me. But it does happen. So if the same thing applies to this guy, your drones have to be on a drone hub or RC rover. Looks like I'm doing a great job harvesting these metals over here. Might as well start picking some of those up. Let's set up a convoy here between there and there. So he's just going to go ahead and just grab resources and then dump them, and then grab resources and dump them until he's got nothing left to grab. Uh-oh. It looks like this building has deteriorated and will stop working. So this guy is almost destroyed. So I need to send a drone and some resources to give it some maintenance to repair it. Our rocket is almost to Mars. How you guys doing here? 1 out of 44. Good job. Drop it off, boys. Where's he going? Alright, so you guys are done. I'm going to send you over here. I'm actually going to interrupt this job I just gave this guy. Hey, our rocket's arrived. So we can go land our new rocket with all of our new stuff. But I'm going to go drop this guy here, and I'm going to drop this guy here, and he can go repair these devices for me. Alright, now that's done. Now that's done with. Let's go ahead and drop our rocket. So, I think this is probably a fair place to drop it. And we got our drones probes. So let's deep scan this place. Immediately scan a sector for deposits and anomalies. Deep scanning of the sector is not possible with the current technology. That's not true. You told me it was. Ugh. I swear I had that deep scanning technology. Here. Deep metal extraction. Can exploit deep metal and rare metal deposits. Did it lie to me? Would I lie to you, honey? So apparently I cannot yet deep scan. Okay. Guess that's lame. I think it's a pretty quick technology, though, so we'll get it soon enough, I guess. Hey, I got my Explorer now. Nice. Okay, Explorer. Go do some stuff. Go look at some of these anomalies for me here. Sweet, my drones are just going to go ahead and start unloading the rocket for me. Unload this polymers, machine parts. I'm going to go ahead and take these drones and reassign them to this guy. Where's the other one? Reassign him to that. Cool. So this guy's got no drones, so I'm not going to actually accidentally worry about losing those. Alright. So you guys are done mining
Sector
here.
scanned. Anomaly found.
What do we find here? An anomaly and some metals. Where are they? No, there's no resources. Oops. Okay, so you found nothing but an anomaly. Okay. Looks like this area's got a pretty bad sensor boost. It's pretty far away. He's analyzing the anomaly for me. Scan, brother. Alright. He's also got a battery.
Analyzed.
Alright, what did we get?
Milestone achieved.
There's more to the barren environs of the Red Planet than meets the eye. A veritable treasure trove of undiscovered knowledge and wonder. So long as you know where to look.
So long as you know where to look. Even the tiniest, simply looking rock contain the answers to mysteries which perplex the human mind for generations. Sometimes it takes just a simple discovery to assure us of the vastness of the universe and encouragement to make us look beyond the boundaries of our existence into the future. Effect. The following texts have been revealed on the research screen. Extractor amplification, hydroscopic vaporators, low-G hydrosynthesis, productivity training, and transport optimization. Let's go look at what some of these do. Hydroscopic vapors. Moisture vaporators increase effectiveness. Low-G hydrosynthesis. Resolving the obvious problems with water pressure in low-G environments will allow for more complex hydrosynthetic procedures to be done on-site on Mars. So this unlocks the polymer factory and the fuel refinery. So we can make plastics, and we can build our own fuel refineries now. I mean, once we research this. Transport optimization. The RC transport harvests resources faster, and its maximum storage is increased by 15. Extractor amplification. Increase production of extractors by 25%, but it increases their power consumption by 10%. And productivity training. Engineers and geologists have plus 10 performance while working in their specialties. That's not particularly useful. Alright. So this is an anomaly that might lead to a breakthrough. Gameplay-wise, breakthroughs are like very special technologies that you're only going to get a few of, and there's a fairly large pool, and they're all very powerful. So every time you play, you're probably going to unlock a different pool of breakthrough technologies, and they're probably enough to influence kind of the style that you're going to play that game. Because they're going to unlock very powerful things generally. I usually don't research all of them, but I'll find a couple that I'm like, wow, that's really good. I need to make sure I get that. But you don't get it every game, so the breakthroughs are pretty cool. They're very special. Let's go back and unload these resources here. Let's send this guy back over here. So, we're working on our research. We're getting 100 per day. Managed by our sponsor is doing some research for us. Eventually, we'll be able to contribute our own research to this. But right now, the people back on Earth are researching stuff for us. Autonomous sensors. They're working on making our sensor towers better. So this drone eventually will need to be
Breakthrough
powered up as well.
discovered.
Artificial muscles. Wow. Drones carry 2 resources at once. Wow! Nature has long provided inspiration for technological advances. Muscles made from carbon fiber are the latest examples of cutting-edge biotech, and mixed with Mars' low gravity, our drones have basically doubled their carrying capacity. That's awesome. So that tech doubles the carrying capacity of my drones. Pretty cool. So this one is just going to help us with our current research goals. It's going to give us a big research bonus. So I want to queue up a second research. I'm thinking go for farms. Farms are pretty darn good. Unlike hydroponic farms, they're going to create a little bit more soil interaction. And so we can maintain our soil carefully to increase the yield of our crops. And then they'll also provide oxygen for us. Because plants turn that CO2 into oxygen inside of our biodomes. 40 out of 60 fuel. Uh-oh. Building stopped working. Probably because it's nighttime. Hello. Do I want to go ahead and throw on some extra water towers? Maybe. I mean, eventually I'm going to want to do that, so... I am going to hook my, my dome's water grid to this water extractor. I'm just going to run a big long pipe down here. So I might as well prepare my storage accordingly. Let's get some domes. So these are pretty cheap. They just cost metal.
Research complete.
All right.
Active research.
We gained
Anomaly analyzed.
1250 research from that anomaly, which completed the autonomous sensors, and it also completed the soil adaptation for us. Cool. So I guess we got to queue up even more. Okay, so completing this one unlocked a new one for us. Low G turbines. Wind turbine power upgrade polymer blades. Power production increased by 33%, so it'll make our wind turbines better, which we don't have any right now. We could get magnetic filtering, which makes our oxygen producing MOXIE better. Or we could go for low G hydrosynthesis. Drone hubs are constructed with 2 additional drones, and your maximum drones is increased. I guess we'll go for that. Uh-oh. It looks like we are almost maxed out on our concrete storage here. Let's go ahead and throw in another depot. Let's have this guy run to the power grid and start charging. And same thing with this guy. He's at about half. What's this guy doing? So if your drones, if your rovers, I mean, ever run out of energy, you can send another rover to go share some of his energy, which is awesome. Building's not working. Uh-oh. It looks like... What do we got here? Not working. Drones won't receive further instructions. Not enough power. That's weird. It looks like the drain... Oh, I see. The reason the drain was so bad is because when I start charging my rovers here, they actually drain energy from the grid. So they actually sucked up all the energy, and it was night, and so my battery ran out. Okay. Cool. So I'm actually kind of stalling here a little bit because I'm trying to see if I can get the deep scanning dudes. But you know what? I'm just gonna whatever. Let's get this dome rolling. Do we have any better potential locations? No. We do want to be next to these metals, so basic dome it is. So these extractor deposits just being outside of the range isn't really a problem because I'm going to go ahead and just throw down the layouts for my stuff. I can go ahead and this just has to be within range of the dome for the colonists to be able to reach it, and then this guy needs to be just within range of the extractor. So Not too far. I guess while we're at it, let's go ahead and throw down our extra drone hub that we bought. Throw him down maybe right there.
Sector scanned. Select a sector to scan.
Okay. Ooh, our sector scan finished. 40 resources. 16. 24. So they're all right there. Let's go ahead and throw in a little metals depot to remind ourselves. Okay. So, kind of laying out our plan here. It hasn't cost us any resources yet because we don't have drones within range. Actually, these drones are starting to deliver stuff for us. What a hero. Okay, so the you might have noticed that one of our pipes kind of exploded here. Your pipes kind of eventually decay. They decay faster the larger your network is. So if I just built up 1,000 solar panels here and ran wires, you know, every which way, it would make my network very frail because it would just be supporting a massive load. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just subdivide my network a little bit. So I'm actually going to keep this kind of whole setup over here on its own electrical network. And I'm going to put this dome on its own electrical network as well. So I'm going to go ahead and start throwing down some solar panels. I'm going to kind of keep them far away if I can from these extractors. 4, 5. 1, 2. Run some cables. And I'm going to throw down some of these guys. And I'm going to throw down this Stirling generator that I bought. Wow, look how small it is. We'll just put him right there. We'll run a wire from here to... Actually, wait. I want to run it from here to... There. That seems good. Okay, so we don't have any drones capable of building all this for us, nor do we have any resources. So let's go grab some, and we'll grab our dude, and we'll send him over. This is, I'm sorry, our drone rover. This is our mobile drone hub, and he still needs his one last guy. It looks like we're building up a bunch of waste rock on our water extractors, so let's go ahead and build a couple more dumping sites here. We'll just put them off in the corner. Shouldn't be a problem. These are just waste rock, basically. As we're mining, we're finding extra rock. We need to put it somewhere. This will keep our drones busy for a while, I think. Got another one there. There. And then we'll put one here once these are full. You never really clear these out. Alright, take this guy. And actually, you can do this really clever thing. You can see how I've overlapped. These giant blue circles are the area of effect of my my drone control centers. So I can actually go ahead and dump my resources in between, and it'll be accessible to all of my my drones from both drone centers, which is pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and throw some electronics, machine parts, concrete. Let's run another concrete, polymers, and then I'm actually just gonna have him go unload some of these right here. He can actually just go ahead and dump them on the ground if I want. The truck can't. The drones can't for some reason. So what is this guy? Wow! This Stirling generator produces 10 energy per hour. And he has multiple modes. Look at that. I can open him up. And now he produces 20. This thing is amazing. But when he's open, he's vulnerable to dust damage. So if I close him, he still produces power, but he doesn't decay at all, which is also super cool. Wow, what a cool little guy. I'm just gonna leave him closed for now. Let's go ahead and grab some more metals. So we completed our drone hub over here. Great. So our drones went and actually started stocking this up for us. They've been dropping some of the minerals. We got 4 polymers, 20 metals, 80 or 6 concrete. Oh, looks like our scan is done. Let's go ahead and scan there and there. Oh, our tech is finished for this guy. The sensor tower now doesn't need power anymore, so he works even though it's nighttime. And he doesn't decay, because that's what the autonomous sensors does. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Cool. How are we doing on fuel? Right, looks like our first rocket is now fully refueled, and our second rocket is being refueled as we speak. That's important because we only have 2 rockets available to us, and we need to use these to transport colonists back. So let's go ahead and launch this guy while we're waiting. Oh no! Pause. Oh my gosh. Where are my drones? Oh no. I forgot to reassign my drones. Oh god. Where are they? Are they in there? Oh my god. Oh, wait. Here's one. We'll assign you to there. Here's another one. Commanded by Drone Hub. Commanded by Prometheus 1. So we're going to assign him to the Drone Hub. Okay, where's the last one? Here he is. He's getting powered up here. Commanded by Prometheus 1, now commanded by the Drone Hub. Boom! Got it! Alright. He didn't take off with our drones. Excellent. Excellent.
Milestone achieved.
Cool, we unlocked a milestone. Launch a rocket from Mars. So these are our milestones. These are kind of like our score. The faster you do these things, the higher your score is going to be. So we have a lot of goals here. Scan an anomaly, launch a rocket from Mars, find water, construct a dome, birth a human. Oh, I'm sorry, land a human, birth a human, produce food, research a breakthrough. Our evaluation will happen after a while. They'll basically give us a goal. Scan everything. Here's milestones for 100, 500, 1,000 colonists. Construct a megadome, construct a wonder. And those will determine our score. Goodbye, rocket! He'll be back. So we can actually see, where is he? He's not in space yet. Oh, there he goes. He just disappeared. So we can see now he's traveling back to Earth and his flight progress is 1%. Alright. So he's doing that. Uh-oh. Did I take all of my metals? Let's leave some metals behind. We need those to maintain all of our machinery here. Okay. Let's go ahead and unload some of these. Actually, I'm gonna grab some polymers while I'm here, so I can build those batteries. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I need it for more than the batteries. I need it for the dome itself. So let's grab a couple extras. Okay. Whoa, that was a meteor. Boom. Sometimes meteors drop and they'll break your stuff. Then you gotta repair it. Let's just dump all of these on the ground. I'm gonna send my guy out to go gather some more minerals for me. I'm running low on minerals. We're doing on machine parts. We're pretty stocked up on these basic resources from Earth. That last shipment really put us in a happy spot. So that's excellent. Because really what we want to send now are colonists. We don't want to have to send more supplies. Otherwise, we'll have to send another rocket with supplies, refuel it.
Sector scan.
Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, okay. So here's our first underground metal deposit. So this will allow us to actually mine metals from a metal extractor. So we won't have to just pick them up off the ground. There's also some on the ground. Just put that there. Hey, forgot about that. Look, we've got this giant mess of metals we harvested earlier. Let's go ahead and grab those. And looks like these guys are now working on another batch for us. So, what does this guy have for drones? 6 drones. What are they grabbing? I think if I salvage this, it will just dump the resources on the ground and my guys will move them for me. Let's find out. Yep. I'm actually going to do that with this guy too. So, it's going to basically drop these off the depot, put them on the ground. My drones are going to be irritated by that, by this little mini pallet here, and so they're going to actually just transfer them over to these depots for us, which is excellent because that depot is within range of here. So that's going to allow this to continue being constructed. It's just going to auto-transfer the resources for us, which is excellent. Oops, we're not done. Yeah, there are more. Our capacity is 22 out of 30. Cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and unload these. What is our explorer doing? So there's a couple more anomalies. Let's go ahead and research these. New technologies. Alright. Thanks for watching, dude. I'm going to probably pause it for now and resume the stream later then. See ya, nerd!